Okay, looking at question number 11 here. I'm just going to highlight a couple of different things about the actual question. So that you can see there's a recursive formula. Now that is a geometric series because we're multiplying by 1.025, which is a 2.5% increase, with an initial value of C1 is equal to 200. All right, so going into where we're at now, we want to look at December the 9th. Now, December the 9th, if we kind of go through the dates, December 6th is day 1, December 7th, day 2, December 8th is day 3, and then obviously December 9th is the 4th day. So we're trying to find out what is the value, so this is part 1, what is the value of C4. Now, if you just put the recursive function, once again, I'll just circle that one again. So that's this one into your recursive function, and you classify that sequences in series, you should be able to look at what C4 is. Now, if you don't know how to do that, I'm just going to quickly run you through the process. So C1 is equal to 200 times 1.025. Now, I don't really want to work that out at the moment. Let's go C2 would be the C1 value, whatever value you get there, 1.025, and then keep going until you get to C4. Now, C4 in this case would be then the C3 times 1.025. Now, I don't know what C3 is. You're just going to have to, I'll write that there. C3 is equal to the C2 value times 1.025. That ends up being, just cut that in my calculator, 215.38. Now, it is always good to put the units as well. So that's units per 100 litres. All right, part 2 now. The day and date when she should next treat the water. Now, this one, you really need to go through your sequences and series and on your calculator, input it in your calculator and see what that value is. Once again, go into your sequences, enter, we're obviously not using C's, we're using A, so AN plus 1 is equal to 1.025 AN, where A1 is equal to 200. Plug that in, go into your calculator and have a look at the first time that it actually gets above 250. Now, if I have a look at on my classmate, I've got C10 is equal to 249.77. So we're not going to use that one because it didn't actually get to 250. C11, though, gets 256.02. So what date is that? Well, we have to go the 11th term, so that's 11 days away from December 6th. And don't forget, December 6th was actually the first term. We're just going to add onto that one. So we're going to get, it's on the, just quick math, 16th of December. And that's actually going to be a Wednesday. So I'm running out of room. Here we go there. All right, let's have a look at the next part now. All right, so now we're looking at part B, determine the revised recursive rule. Now, first thing I want to look for, is it an arithmetic sequence? Now, remembering an arithmetic sequence is when it increases by the same amount each time. Now, you can see that the difference between day 1 and day 2 was 6, but the difference between day 2 and day 3 is actually not 6, it's 6.18. So it's not an arithmetic sequence. So the suggestion is it's probably going to be a geometric series. So we need to find a ratio. So I'm just going to look at I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to have a look at these two terms here. Now, you can check this one a little bit later if you want to and have a look at some other terms, but those are the terms I'm going to look at. So for a ratio, this is once again, this is part B, I'm going to look at 206 divided by 200. Now, that does give me 1.03, so that's a 3% increase or a 3% change. What we need to do is write a recursive rule for this one. So I'm going to write Cn plus 1, because they use C, so I might as well use C as well, 1.03 times Cn, and don't forget, we must always tell it where it's going to start from. And in this case, it started at 200. So there's our recursive rule. So it's a little bit different to the one we had previously. We just need to make sure that we're okay with that. All right, now, part 2. If the water is treated on the 10th of January and went on holiday, so we're actually treating each of these as individual terms, because after the 10th of January, they treated the water, so we're starting again. Now we're starting at 200 and then going from there because it gets back to 200. So we're just kind of focusing on trying to get to 250 each time. So on the 20th of January, so what are we looking at there? The 20th of January, what term are we looking at? Well, that would be C11. Okay, because don't forget, term 1 would be the 10th of January. And then we've got to go to the 20th of January from there. So we're going to look at C11, input the formula that you had made up in the previous one, so this one. Enter that into your sequences and series and see what C11 would be, which is the 20th of January, which is 268.78. Once again, units per 100 litres. Once again, all units are really, really important. Now, the great thing about this, even if you get this part here wrong, just input that into your sequences and series, and then as long as you actually state that you're looking at C11, then you should be okay from there in terms of follow through. You won't get any marks for this part here, but you will get the marks associated with this one if you actually correctly follow through. Okay, hope that helps.